Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. Compliments of the season. I am Olakunle Kasumo. The last days of each year often convey this very unique holiday spirit, even when you are hard at work like some of us are. So I hope you have been enjoying yourself and spending good time with friends and families. This is our last episode of the year, and I have to say that we are deeply grateful to you for always watching. In the spirit of wrapping up the year, this episode is about reminding you of some of the personalities, interviews, news and events, and readings we had during the year. You may call it a trip down the 2016 memory lane. Let's start with some of our guests on the show. Enjoy this.
If I was president, I would outlaw e-readers. Like it would like the first thing to do is just get rid of this first, and then we can attend to other issues.
That is an unusual view from a 20-something-year-old.
Very.
I can understand why a lot of people say it's unusual, but I kind of feel like books are the last of all the art forms there is. Like music, I don't think vinyls are almost, you have to be a collector to have vinyls. CDs, almost nobody buys CDs. Like it's gone completely digital. Movies, almost everyone either downloads their movies or stream movies. Books, I think, is the only popular thing in art culture that people actually, like for me, coming to the bookshop is an event. I enjoy going around and looking through and flipping through. And I just don't think it's right for us to just be, I'm just gonna be at home, I'm just gonna download it, and
So for you,
it's not right.
You're not into that.
No. You would never catch me with an e-reader.
Okay, but Sherlyn, you have a completely different view.
Very different. I think he's living in the Stone Age. I don't get how would somebody just want to have physical books all the time. We have more access to our phones and Kindle devices. So tell me, why would you want to be holding physical books every time? Come on, that's Stone Age. So Stone Age.
Nice.
This is so normal to you. I mean, but you can't imagine how fascinated I am now. Look at this.
Yeah.
You rode from Tantan to Rabat in Morocco. 877 kilometers. Is it correct to assume that that's the distance you rode? Because you rode the distance
that's
covered.
the distance I covered that day. Yeah.
Do you have brakes?
Yeah.
You had brakes?
Yeah.
Or did you just ride it on as
No, you'd stop to buy fuel, you'd stop to have a drink, you'd stop to eat something. Yeah.
But apart from those normal stops,
This is
there's just one ride.
Yeah. But this is nothing. Just to move to the side a bit, in 2014 in South Africa, there's an organization called the Iron Bot Association, right? And for you to enter into this association, the basic entry level is 1,600 kilometers in 24 hours.
1,600 kilometers
Yes,
of
on
riding on
yes,
a bike.
Yes, and I did it in 18 hours.
Whoa.
So I'm in that association.
Iron Bot. Indeed.
Iron Bot, yeah.
The book is a summary of the life of my father, Chief Moshood Kashima Abiola, and the role his life played in Nigeria becoming a democratic country. And the book I made it like a novel because I don't want to write a book that's like a history book, because nowadays people are more interested in reading books in forms of novels, so it's interesting. People, when you talk about history, they will say, it's boring. I want something that is easy for people to understand, something that is fun to read. That way, I achieve two objectives. The first one is to give them knowledge that is very, very crucial. And the second one is to make it interesting for them to actually acquire that knowledge so that they are looking forward to it.
One of the impressions I have, about reading this book is that you don't feel your father has been properly placed in Nigeria's democratic history. You feel he has not been honored enough by Nigeria. I had that sense while reading the book. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And that is actually very, very troubling, because apart from a personal perspective of not being honored, like my father, my mother, Alhaja Kudrat Abiola, I also feel it's actually even counterproductive for the future of this country, because Nigeria now, more than ever, needs heroes to be honored, because at this point in Nigeria's history, Nigeria needs people to sacrifice, people to do things that are unusual. You know, all Nigeria has been depending on for the past 30 years is oil. And as we know, the price of oil is going down, and even if it's not even going down, there are also alternative sources of energy. So Nigeria will need something that is stronger than material to hold the country together, and that is where values come in.
I find that children receive information a lot better than adults. We have a very good opportunity to pass information on to children, whereby that information can change the way that they actually behave. You know, so I've released a lot of material for adults, and I found that in the 7 books I've written, there is that important opportunity to be able to pass that same information to children. But at the same time, rather than the way it happens with adults, where the adults still have the option of continuing existing behavior, with children it actually usually transforms their behavior and you see positive impact. I don't think that we are doing enough to educate Nigerian children or to improve the reading culture in Nigerian children. There's a saying that goes amongst us Nigerians that if you want to hide something from a child, or from a Nigerian rather, you put it in a book, and that's really just not good enough. Reading is something that expands a child's mind. You know, the opportunity to pick up a book or to pick up material that can be read, it makes a child, you know, think more intellectually, makes them question topics, it changes their behavior. It just expands the way that they think, you know, and it produces a much more introspective adult, I would